Hello everyone, Antazil here, back with another game for HOI4. Arms of Against Tyranny is almost here, or already here, depending on when you watch this. It has a nice cool opening screen, and it has focus trees for the 4 Scandinavian nations, and also Iceland. So today we're playing Germany. That's right, I'm playing the German Reich. All joking aside, exploring these Nordic focus trees is something for another video, and other YouTubers are doing all of that. There are also some new mechanics. There's an excellent paradox tutorial on the military-industrial complex, but there are also reworked special forces. That's what I'm going to dive into. You have a doctrine for mountaineers, marines, and paratroopers, and Germany in this game is going for paratroopers. That's why this is Air Germany. For these doctrines you need air experience, which is arguably the hardest to come by, so we'll be having a look at how to do that efficiently and what to get from that. Now to get into the juicy part here, in fact enables light armor airborne. This is basically what you do this for. Armor on your paratroopers, making them quite beefy. Getting air supremacy is still a big thing, especially against the allies. So we will be beefing up our air industry as well. In the early game I'll take out the Netherlands. Let's start with some research. I do recommend you have a look at the military industrial tutorial, but just to show things quickly, when you research stuff for which you have designers, you can assign the research to your designer, which will level them up. When you level them up, you can go into these tech trees and get all kinds of nice perks. They look like small bonuses, but they do add up eventually. Get this thing leveled up enough and you can select a policy which will specialize it even more. The first upgrades already give you some really nice bonuses that you can feel from the start. Now for some reason your beginning production hasn't been assigned yet to your designers. So that looks to be a manual thing at the start of the game. However, I'm sure they'll fix that eventually. Sometimes you have more than one designer, for example light tanks, and you just have to pick one. We'll start with the Rhineland. We're sticking on this path here. And we'll develop a few civilian factories before we head into military ones. And I'm going Air Germany, so I am going to put factories on my air production and add more of them later. The guns, this will have to do. We'll get our rubber from the Dutch East Indies. Let's gather up the Air Force and exercise them. I'm going to use a few mountaineers to send as volunteers to the Spanish Civil War. Going to merge up these tactical bomber wings so they have 100 each. There's the Rhineland, and now we'll head into 4-year plan to the next research slot. The political power we'll use to get Martin Bormann, the silent workhorse. We'll also get a chief of the Air Force. The Kesselring will give more experience, however we do need the air superiority bonus from Göring, so we'll just take him. You can see my infantry equipment designer level up. I can choose either of these three, and I'm going for the soft attack. Forming a cryptology department and unlocking the UK. Here's the Spanish Civil War, so let's get on that. I can send 4 volunteers and 2 air wings, so I'll click that and we'll select our mountaineer army. It's nice to be able to see who we're sending. And let's grab 2 of our tactical bombers. And get them to work. Now we don't really need to win the Civil War as quickly as possible. We want to milk it for all the experience we can get. I think we're also ready for a just fine war goal against the Netherlands. Research slot is here. Let's not go into Anschluss yet, we can't, and we'll do air innovations. This is of course an air game. certainly lacking a bit of infantry equipment. If only there were a new mechanic that we could buy some. Let's see if there are any guns available. Japanese guns, 700. Yeah, sure, we'll take it, just to show it. We'll need to interrupt this civil war for an actual war. Let's head into the Netherlands. Here's an interesting thing. Denmark offers a trade proposal. Well, this could be beneficial, of course, but what always happens in a few days, Denmark cancels the trade agreement. I'm sure this will get reworked at some point. And that's the Netherlands already. We'll puppet the Dutch East Indies with resource rights. We'll take the Netherlands themselves and create a puppet in the rest with more resource rights. And take navies. We'll resend the volunteers. We can now send 3 of our air wings. I'm doing a few aircraft focuses ahead of time because I really want to improve my planes. And now we can do Anschluss. Let's get ourselves an air warfare theorist to make the doctrines even cheaper. And let's get working on those paratroopers. As you can see, we are getting the discount from Walter Wever on the doctrine costs for paratroopers, but also we do aircrew surveys. That also goes into the discount. You can't actually research paratroopers yet because I haven't researched them yet. Does that make sense? So I'll just spend a few points in the doctrines. There goes Anschluss. We need a few more guys in the field for Command Sudeten. Italy and Hungary wants to join. You're more than welcome. And that's the end of the Spanish Civil War. There's another conflict here that could benefit from our presence. 4 air wings. I'll just send the air wings. I'm not going to send my troops in there. Need a lot more fighters, but I'm getting them. In fact, I can deploy some new planes. Let's talk about deploying planes, because, well, there's this button, Available Planes and Reserve, and you can go to an airfield and press this button, Add New Air Wing, and just select what you want to deploy. That's a bit cumbersome. There's also the Quick Deploy button, where you can configure buttons on this taskbar, such as deploy some fighters, deploy some close air support, and get some tactical bombers. Now you have these quick deploy buttons for fighters. For instance, this one will deploy you a fighter. However, with the Against Tyranny changes, this deployment is going to take forever, like 30 days or something. You can also go in here, my fleet of fighters, and press the D button or this click here, and I will divide all those air wings into 2. Then they will refill, and voila, you have deployed your air wings. Immediately able to use them. However, they will lose experience and need to be retrained. Let's also put some guys on another airfield. I will do the same with our close air support. We also developed our paratrooper technology. Let's go into our special forces. Let's have a look here. You need to have 1 specialization available to do this, and we only have 1 specialization. So, for instance, if I select the paratroopers, I cannot do another one because I have the branch specialism remaining 0. But we're going for paratroopers anyway. We have to make a choice here: reconnaissance and sabotage or combat insertion. In short, this is, you want to throw in your paratroopers to disrupt the enemy. You can see that you're doing damage to military factories, civilian factories, and infrastructure. Or you're going in to take stuff, such as ports, and you want to use them. That will be my goal for today, so I'm doing combat insertion. This one will allow the airborne light armor, a support company for your paratroopers, and the last few will be to your own taste. The left branch gives some blanket bonuses to defense, breakthrough, and soft attack. The other side to recovery rate, supply grace, and special forces attack and minus training time. Each have their benefits. I'm slightly more favorable to this one here, even though the cold and hot acclimatization factor is useless. Let's finish these guys anyway. This is a paratrooper run after all. And we'll train about 9 paratroopers. And the regular editing just requires military experience, so we'll give them the airborne light armor, engineer companies, anti-air, and artillery. Like to give them another paratrooper, but that's too much for our special forces cap. We'll get to that later maybe. Heavy machine gun and survivability studies are done, so now we can also significantly boost our fighters. Let's get on that. Just going to improve those two. The medium airframes I'm just using to get experience. They've had their usefulness. The basic small airframe, where are you? You're going to heavy machine guns, self-sealing fuel tanks, and extra fuel tanks. And pretty much the same with the CAS. Let's put the main army on the border with Belgium. That's where they'll be heading. Yeah, it's good enough. Let's go for Belgium. I'm sure the Allies will guarantee and we'll have a war. I can expand my paratrooper template now. Belgium is being guaranteed, so that's good. Justification for Belgium is finished. Right, Air Force reorganized. We're not paradropping into France yet. I want to take out Belgium first. But yeah, we should be ready. Declare war on Belgium. And just set the battle line to go. That'll be good enough for now. We can pull Italy into our faction. We're not going to call them into war. I just want them to well, sit on their border menacingly. Where the hell are my fighters? Oh, they're all over here. And I hadn't activated them. Now I have 1100 fighters. Let's see how they're doing. Well, that looks alright. We're killing loads of enemy planes. And we can see this number going down pretty quickly. That's Belgium. Now let's put our paratroopers to work. Let's first expand the combat line. Let's also justify Wargol and Luxembourg. They're in the way. We'll put those motorized on their border. Let's see, what do we want to do with our paratroopers? We could capitulate France instantly by dropping Paris. I'm kind of hoping of a demonstration here of what I can do. So we'll get around Paris. Yeah, we'll just surround Paris then. And let's toggle the Air Force. Immediately they've stopped, but they are dropping. Paris was actually empty, so let's grab it. And to show off one thing, I'm just grabbing a few of these paratroopers and I'm going to attack this tank here, and we're winning. Let's have a look. Base soft attack of 60 versus a defense of 11. Well, intel advantage, entrenchment, and on this side, experience, country, commander skill. We're racking up bonuses pretty nicely here. We'll establish Vichy France just for historical accuracy points. Alright, let's have a look at the invasion of the UK. Right, it takes some jiggling around, but I do seem to have green air zones in France, the English Channel, and England itself. Well, the Allies could shuffle around more planes, but we probably have to make use of this right now. Once again, I'm not hoping to hope I'm lucky enough to get all the ports. I'm just going to deploy some around. I'll set them to go immediately. We've actually landed here with heavy damage. Let them walk into Portsmouth. And another one here. Let that one walk into Dover. What's happening with the air supremacy? Because we're still dropping. We probably just need more stuff. We've got this one here, so we'll ship over a regular army. Not so lucky on this one here. Probably going to cost me a paratrooper. Nope, it is not. But the counterattacks are coming. Paratroopers heading into London. And let's send in another army. Why is this not working? Because I set it to no, don't go there. The fall of London, taken by my brave paratroopers, who did suffer quite a few casualties. 30% manpower. That's the anti-air of the Brits for you. But they can still pack a punch, encircle and destroy this division here. Beautiful. Well, now that we're mopping up the UK, it's now time to evaluate those paratroopers. Do you really need to upgrade your special forces to equip paratroopers? No, I don't think so. These attacks are probably even more efficient without the paratroopers. However, they add flavor to your attacks and it's kind of fun. I'll be doing evaluations on the other special forces as well. So be sure to keep an eye on my channel for those explorations. I mean, for an 8-whiff division, 60 soft attack almost, and we're getting a lot of bonuses when we're actually in combat. We have armor, we have hard attack. We're pretty versatile for such a small unit. And you can see if I attack British forces here, we're just getting a lot of bonuses here. That includes the commander's skill, of course. But I'm certainly not unhappy with these paratroopers. They're not a must-have, but they are very nice to play around with. And here we are. The British have capitulated. So there you go. That's the exploration of the new mechanics and especially the paratroopers. Paradropping into France and into Britain. We used in the Civil War in Spain to rake up a lot of air experience needed to develop those paratroopers, and that all turned out quite nicely. Next up, we'll be exploring the Marines, and we'll do that with either Italy or the Netherlands. I haven't decided yet. If you like this video, press the like button, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.